Go. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Gaming After Dark. I'm your host, Noof Nukem. Boom, boom, kaboom. Noof is back in the room. Now, unfortunately, guys, I do not have Primal Eve with us tonight. She was supposed to be here. Unfortunately, she's having the same tech issues she had a couple of weeks ago when she missed the show. So if she gets to come in a little bit later on, great. We're going to cross our fingers and hope that she makes it here. But if not, that's okay. Well, it's never okay. We love Primal and we miss her when she's not here. But I do have two amazing cats with me tonight. One who I plan to be on the show, and I announced it earlier today. I'm going to introduce them to you in just a second. And we have a last-minute addition who's always explosive when he comes to my show. So we are ready to go. Let's give a shout-out to the amazing people who are in the chat. Spider-Man, the first to swing into the room tonight. What's going on, Spidey? Glad you could be here. Like I said, Crispy was in the chat and came over here. She's now in the room. We have also got, who came in here? We've got Timothy Dixon is in the house. Alan Savage is here. Ace Junkie Media is hanging out with us. Jay Slayer Jay and the amazing Siberia. Michael Monkey Punch Lugo is here as well. Thank you guys for being here. Greatly appreciate it. Like, share, whatever you got to do, put it out there. But anyway, I'm Noof Nukem. I'm your host. We're here with some amazing guests. I'm going to start off my guest of the evening, and I do believe, well, this is his first time on Gaming After Dark, that's for sure. It won't be his last. I can also assure you, give it up for the amazing Cray Simmons. You may also know him on Xbox's Hollywood. What's happening, Cray? How you doing, brother?
Yo, what's up? What's up, man? Thanks for having me on. Just ready to talk some games. Got a little drink in my system, so let's go.
That is good to know. Yes, Cray is no stranger to a little heavy drink here. You might even hear some little ice rattling in the background as he kicks his night off. And we've got Crispy Bomb in the house. What is happening, Crispy? Glad you could be here with us, brother. Thanks for, like I said, filling in the gap here. Congratulations to you, Crispy, though, on your Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl over my 49ers. What an upset victory. I mean, man, my 49ers, safe to say, look, the Chiefs played a sound game, but man, the 49ers, you have to say they blew it. Like their defense was non-existent in that last quarter. And like I said, Patrick Mahomes went to work, and that was it. Done deal. So congratulations there, man. You must be pretty on top of the world today.
I've been up since 3:00 yesterday, dude. Okay, because I had to go and do inventory right after the Super Bowl. Okay, it is the first time that I've ever seen my Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So it was insane for me. It was one of the most epic feels you're ever gonna have, because I thought when we threw that second pick, you guys had us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you were playing such good defense that I was like, my God, we're gonna lose this game. And you know what? I said, we got to the Super Bowl. That's all that matters. That's what I said to my head. And I said, I watched two games before it that we were destroyed by the other team. So I said, we're not out of it, but the defense needs to come up with something. And we did. You know what I mean? And kudos, my uncle, like I've said to people, my uncle is a diehard 49ers fan. I've been to 49ers games because of him. Okay. So he, you know, the respect I have for the 49ers is bar none. Like, for us to beat you guys was epic for me, and not just like, it's more respectful epic. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's one of those highs that it's going to take like a week for me to get off of, but I appreciate you having me here, dude. Like, you know, much respect to the 49ers. Whoever's a 49ers fan, much respect.
Absolutely. Well, it was a good game regardless. It was pretty tight. I mean, at the halftime, I mean, the stats were like almost neck and neck. It was crazy. It was 10-10. It was like, you know, it could have went either way. And it, unfortunately for me, it did go the way of the Kansas City Chiefs, but the kudos to them. And Patrick Mahomes, man, he's going to make some serious money. Now, don't worry, guys. We're going to get off the football topic here right away. But I said on my Twitter, man, I said, I'm 0 for 2 right now. Last year, my Hamilton Tiger Cats in the CFL went to the Grey Cup final, and they literally shit the bed. Even though they're the favorites to win, they got blown out. And then my 49ers get to the Super Bowl and they lose. I'm like, man, if the next team that I go for goes to a championship within the next year or two and shits the bed, I'm telling you, the bed is going out with the garbage.
Throw it out. Get it out.
Well, At least y'all teams get a chance, man. I'm a Redskin fan, man. I don't know when we going back unless I start back playing Madden or something. I don't know.
There you go. That's the way Cray will get him there, is in the Madden game. But anyway, guys, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Like I said, Primal's having some technical difficulties, so let's bear with us. Hopefully, she can make it before the end of the show. Who did not get a shout out and up in here? We got Alan Savage joining us here, baby. What's going on, Alan? Ace Junkie, Michael Monkey Punch Luke. I think I've given you guys a shout out already. But let's get into some topics for tonight. And we're gonna start off with just talking about, I guess, some of the game. What do you guys, before we get into the games, what have you guys both been playing? I'll start with Cray first. Cray, man, what's been keeping you busy, man? I can't remember. Are you a multi-console gamer? Are you mostly an Xbox guy? I know you're an Xbox because we play together from time to time.
Yeah, I'm mostly Xbox, man. You know, I play everything on it. But you know, I got the PS4, I got the Switch, and like I was telling you earlier, just picked up a PC a couple of months ago. But yeah, I'm mostly on the box. And see here lately, Star Wars Fallen Order, man. That junk got me hooked. I'm trying to go and max out all these abilities and stuff, and you know, Mortal Kombat while we was talking earlier. Yeah, MK11 is my I guess my guilty pleasure right now.
So. Both of those games are fantastic, man. It's hard to believe that Mortal Kombat 11 came out like last year, you know, like it was a great game.
And it's beautiful, man. Like I said, I just picked up this new QLED C7 too, back in November, and man, the HDR on it, I didn't know what I was missing with my old 4K TV. I was like, I don't need HDR, I'm good. Yeah. Man, I get this new stuff, I'm like, yo.
Yeah, if you got a QLED or an OLED and you got good HDR, man, some of those games take advantage of a lot. Forza Horizon comes to mind. Holy crap, that game looks like something else when that's on, let me tell you. So
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I got it. Game Pass for the win.
Game Pass for the win. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on too. Crispy, how about yourself, man? What's been keeping you busy?
Honestly, I've been playing Hellblade with my girlfriend. She has been amazed with that game. Nice. Like absolutely just enamored with it. And it's just spectacular because like she's not into gaming like I am. So it's like wow, like she is just like she's almost jizzing herself, like I like to say. You know what I mean? But in the end, I always play Gears. Gears is like, you know, the second coming. But MK11 Cray. Yeah. I love me some MK11. And I'm going to tell you something right now. The Joker is a dirty mother trucker. All I got to say. He's a dirty mother trucker.
I feel a community game night coming on here in Mortal Kombat 11. So what do you think, guys?
Yeah, I'm down, dude. Always, I'm man. Down. Like, dude, Joker, I usually pick random because I like to try to learn every character. The thing is I don't have any of the DLC. I almost refuse, even in Gears, like I refuse to buy things. You know what I mean? I don't want to purchase it with my own money. Maybe I earn the currency to get that thing, but you know, in MK11, I can't do it, and I'm playing against the Joker, and I can't play as him, and I'm like, and my girl was sitting there looking at it, like, dude, I want to play as him, and I'm like, what? Because like I've played against my girl, and she's getting good with Jade, but she's like, oh, I want to play as the Joker, and I'm like, well, now I got to buy this shit. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, you gotta satisfy the woman. Just saying, you know.
Guess what, Crispy? You done talked them up, man. I just got into another rank match and dude playing with the Joker with the red pinstripes. I said, damn, he done talked them up.
Dude, that's a dirty club. That's all I gotta say. That is the golf club of the ages right there. Like he's like bam, like just smacking you in the head.
Is definitely interesting, man.
At least these guys got the girlfriends to let them play games because, man, I got friends out there. I'm telling you that every time they mention the word video game, their woman's giving them the stink eye. Let me tell you, I'm putting them back in that corner. So,
well, my wife
even better when you can play together. So it was even better when you can play together.
Yeah, she like Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that.
I'm telling you, playing games together is almost like having one of those two-sided dildos, isn't
it? What's funny about that is my girl was like, my hand's cramping up, and I'm like, oh, you ain't wrapped around something? What?
Using the wrong hand here. That's why my right hand is built for life.
Oh shit! That forearm.
Oh man, this is gonna be a good show, guys. Like I said, Primal. Hopefully, she makes it. She's having some tech difficulties. Let's give a shout out to the chat because we got some newcomers jumping in here. Well, they're not actually new, but we got Chase Jones, the Mr. Call of Duty man himself, is in the house. We've got HR Bomber here as well. He didn't bring his sister, I don't think, but he's here. What's going on, HR Bomber? Who else do we have? Draven Arrow finally made it over. Draven Arrow, thanks for coming in, man. Greatly appreciated. So let's get down to the first topic here, guys. The new February games are just about upon us here. Starting with, we got a couple of big releases this month, including Doom Eternal, which I know has been high on people's radar, Animal Crossing, Bleeding Edge, and Ori Will of the Wisp, which we found out just went gold. So I want to start with you guys. Of those 4 games I just mentioned, who's excited for what? Is there any day one buys in here? And I'm going to start off with you, Craig. And anything there tickle your fancy?
You know what? Doom. I haven't beat the one that came out. What was it, a couple years ago?
Yeah.
I got into it, but other stuff came out, took me off of it. So I need to finish that. But Doom Eternal looks good, and Ori.
Is that a day
say
one?
What you want to say? Double A indie. Ori looks good, man. Again, got to finish the first one. About halfway through it. But some of them jumps, man. I don't know if you ever played the first one, but the platforming is kind of tough on it.
Gotcha.
So I got to finish that, and I'm definitely looking forward to the second one, especially like I said with GamePass. My kids, they all play Xbox, and gave them the choice, and GamePass has definitely saved me a lot of money, bro.
Boy, we're gonna have fun on this topic later on the Game Pass one. Let me tell you. But that's good. Animal Crossing, you have a Switch. Animal Crossing, not because I know a lot of people are excited about it.
But like you, man, I don't play it, man. And the only reason why I haven't sold mine or traded it in because my wife won't let me. It's like Little John Odos. I give them away, but my wife won't let me. So it's just sitting in this little carry case, man. I can't think of the last time I turned it on, bro. To be honest, just like my PlayStation 4, that sucker dusted, man. I need to take a can of air to it and blow it off, man. Cut it on and see if it need to be updated.
So like an ex-girlfriend, can't remember the last time she turned you on, right?
Yeah, hope my baby mama ain't listening. Oh
shit. We got Spider-Man says Doom is not until March, which could be so. I don't know. I saw advertised somewhere coming for February, so I don't know what the deal is there, but I might have that screwed up. But either which way, I know Doom is certainly one of the biggest games of this year for a lot of people on their highly anticipated list. It looks freaking fantastic. March 19th, Spider-Man says in the chat, thanks for the correction on that. Spider-Man greatly appreciated. Day one for Ori says Timothy Dixon. Yes, I know a lot of people also excited for that after the success of the first game, which was absolutely amazing. I got to say fraud alert here for Noof because I never played it. It's one of those games that is kind of on my radar. I just never got around to it. But maybe I'll get to it eventually. How about you, Crispy Man? Anything on that list got you excited at all? I mean, Bleeding Edge has some people excited after E3, but there's other people saying it's another filler game for Xbox. What do you think?
I'm actually excited for Bleeding Edge because they involved a tutorial because I got no damn clue how to play that game.
Mm-hmm. But they dumbing it down for us gamers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in general, you think about it, it's like it's a melee based, it's just a melee based game that's multiplayer, which it's few and far between. I mean, For Honor didn't do very well. You know what I'm saying? Right. So they have to tread lightly. But on top of that, like Doom Eternal is bringing those, like when I saw that E3, it's bringing those nostalgic old school Doom back to me. You know what I'm saying? Right. And the old school Doom was playing on the PC. Like I played on the PC. I had a Gateway 2000 and that thing was like epic back then. You know what I mean? And I had that. And I played Doom on there, and it was one of the most amazing games. And I'm not a huge first-person shooter, but that's because back then I didn't know what third person was. You know what I mean? Third person was basically non-existent. So it's an epic thing to see, like how you jump, how you eliminate all the demons and everything else. I almost call them cyborgs at this point. They're basically cyborgs. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, we are whatever you hate. You know what I mean? Like that's basically what Doom. And you know what? Please, Bethesda, please do it right. And you know what? When they said we're gonna say delay it and everything else, I was like, thank you, Lord, because I didn't feel that game was ready. You know what I mean? They showed us the best they had, but that doesn't mean that's the best it is. And I want to see the best it is. And I'm sick of games releasing. I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody just ignores the fact. You know, Ubisoft has been doing better and better at releasing full-on games. Since they screwed up with Division 1, they have been releasing full-on games. And Bethesda with Fallout 76, they need to up their ante. They are as big a studio or dev as Ubisoft. And how dare you release such crap? Okay? And you know what? People are saying that if Doom Eternal is not a complete game when it's released, Todd Howard is going to retire. And you know what? I almost believe that because it's going to take such backlash. People are going to be like, oh, you sucked all the, you know what? But, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. Like, we need games to be complete as they come out. And I hope Xbox, I hope even PlayStation's had issues. Days Gone, I mean, when it came out was you know what I mean?
Even though played that.
Even though the premise of the game is awesome, even though like it's like a World War Z but single player, you know what I mean? Like, but the shooting mechanics, everything else, I've heard complaints about everything about it. And then on top of it, the glitches were incredible. But that's where I go and say, where's the double standard, dude? Like,
I know, man.
You know what I mean? Like Xbox, they do the same things that PlayStation does, and they get shit on even more. Why? You know what I mean? Like, why? Like Gears 5 is not that bad of a game. If you've actually played it, if you actually went through some of the campaign and the multiplayer, I mean, there's so many multiplayer modes. I played Horde the other night with Axel, dude. I was like, man, this is fun as hell. And we were playing on it wasn't insane, but it was the one below it.
Axel and those guys are beasts.
Something like that, yeah.
Jeez. And we had a blast, dude. You know what I mean? And like it's like, you know, I don't play Horde because I don't have the people that will play it. You know what I mean? Like I usually play with multiplayer people. But it's highly enjoyable when you got a game like that. Like Doom Eternal is meant to be a single player game. You know what I mean?
Wilmy Hood is in the chat. He says, Crispy gets around for a dude that smokes 3 cartons of Marlboros a day.
I get around, baby.
Meta Alpha is in the chat. Come on. Meta Alpha, what's going on? Meta Alpha asked you a question. She says, Crispy Bomb, which next-gen system are you planning to get?
I'm going to get the Series X. And the only reason why is because the multiplayer platform of Xbox to begin with is going to be intact, and there's no reason not to get it. Now, like I say, if you like single player, you're going to go for PlayStation. And I understand that. I'm not going to sit here and be like, you're not understanding my aspect. All I ask is just don't hate me for it. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. Don't hate me for enjoying to talk. Like that's why I do podcasts, because I enjoy talking to people. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is.
Oh, look who's in the house. I knew I smelled somebody enter.
I heard fucking Crispy's voice.
There you go.
Out of me. Oh my god.
When our female bomb isn't here, we got to go with Crispy Bomb, right?
God.
Welcome, Primal. Thanks for getting here. I wasn't quite sure if you'd make it or not, but there we go. We filled a couple of holes in your absence.
Oh shit, filling holes.
I didn't feel it, Noof, so I had no idea.
Oh, must be those tech issues over there.
Holy shit! I fucking hate dealing with customer service. I do customer service myself for a living, but I just hate everybody.
Primal sex life is like dial-up. By the time she fucking gets it working, it's already done.
Oh my god.
$49.99. I feel like I'm on The Price is Right. Wilmy Hood dropping bombs in here tonight. What's going on? Thanks, Wilmy. Greatly appreciate it. We got Cyber Gunter in the house. CSS Freelance is here as well. Thank you for that. We're going to get Primal's take on all this too. But I'm just going to say, of the games I mentioned, even though, yes, Spider-Man pointed out that both Doom and Bleeding Edge are not until next month. So, okay, I jumped at the gun here, but regardless of those 4 games, I'm not really that excited for either one. If I was, it would be Doom Eternal. I did like the first Doom, but like Cray, I never finished it. I want to go back to it. I was playing it on the PS4 at the time. Got a deal on the game. A really, really good game. Like, I can't believe how much Doom has evolved over the years. It's still Doom at heart, but at the same time, it's just become this amazing action over the top, like it's basically kind of reminds me of Halo on steroids. Essentially, you kind of feel like the Master Chief, but the Master Chief was going a little bit faster. He had some wacky ass guns, and and the monsters and stuff were a little bit more aggressive, a little wackier, that sort of thing. So Doom Eternal. Animal Crossing, don't have a Switch anymore, guys. If you didn't know already, I sold my Switch last week, and you know what? Not a single day has gone by. I felt like, oh, that was a bad decision. Sorry, man, it is gone to pasture. Ori and the Will of the Wisp, never played the first game, so it doesn't have me excited for the second game. So leave. Is somebody farting, or what's going on back there? I'm hearing something. I don't know. Maybe it's Cray rattling drinks.
No, it's my controller.
Oh, the controller's vibrating. Okay.
I'm playing Halo. I ain't think you could hear that shit. I'm about to close it out.
I hear some type of like vibration or something. I'm gonna pick that up on
Got the wrong person excited about vibration.
My bad. Sorry.
Doom. That is my second Switch. So when I buy my third Switch, yes, Newfonomics, and it probably will happen, God forbid. It'll be my third one then. But yes, Call of Duty is finally up to date. Thank God. That's another thing, man. This, like Chris, you brought up about incomplete games. So, man, I'm getting freaking tired of the constant barrage of downloads. I wouldn't mind it if the downloads were sensible, like 1 or 2 or 3 gigs, but my God, it seems like every time I come home and I turn my system on and I've just finished updating like 12 or 13 games, you go over and there's another 5 updates and they're all 10 gigs and 16 gigs and blah blah, and you can't even play, like, some of these games you can't play anything until you basically download the freaking whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's annoying as shit. And then you try, I don't know if it's everybody else's Xbox, but I notice if I try to play a game, like something else off the hard drive while I'm waiting for the freaking download to happen, it's almost like it goes way slower. So, like, I don't often play a game while I'm updating because it just seems like it drags everything out. So, yeah. Primal, of those games that I mentioned there, let's get you in on how have you been this week anyway? What's going on? Update us all and let me know how you feel. Yeah, real quick.
Nothing. Work fucking sucks. I hate everybody. That's pretty much my theme so far in February. I don't know. I just sometimes, like, this meme like described exactly how I feel 90% of the time when I'm working is I'll be looking at somebody, they won't be talking, but in the back of my mind, I'm still like saying shut up. I don't know. It's been a weird past week, but I finally beat a couple games. I beat Far Cry 4, and then my daughter had me play American McGee's Alice Madness Returns, and I beat that earlier.
Looks like a good game.
A lot of fun, and the combat was actually pretty damn good. I'm kind of disappointed that they never continued with it and made a third one.
There you go, because people wait for it to go to Game Pass.
Oh shit!
No, I bought this shit like because it was 360 game. I bought it when my daughter was maybe 4 or 5, so this was like a long time ago that I've had this game. I don't think it ever put on Game Pass though. It's too.
What was it in a while back? Was it Games with Gold or was it into Game Pass? I know it was something because people started playing it again.
I think it was Games with Gold. Alice on the 360. I think it was right before the end.
I don't think so because I probably would have downloaded it if it was.
I seen it somewhere for free. I just never paid it any attention. Then once I let it go, then I heard everybody starting to talk about it and like how good it was. I'm like,
really? No,
right.
I like I said, I bought it when my kid was 4 because I'm a terrible parent and I buy my kids games way out of their age range. And the very first game she ever played was Left 4 Dead, and she was so badass at it that I let her go at it.
You know what? Left 4 Dead, man. That was a great freaking franchise, man.
Gosh, absolutely.
They gotta bring it back.
Yeah, that's another one. Come on, Valve. You know they'll do it after they make Half-Life 3. It's pretty much the joke there.
Have y'all played Killing Floor 2?
I've seen
played the first one.
Thought about it.
It'll kind of fit that. It'll fill that void, but It still ain't Left 4 Dead.
I have a pretty big void.
Oh shit!
So it's gonna take something really good to fill it, and
Oh, they do that one.
I
I
don't
can
know if
take
it will be. Like I even tried. What was that other? There was another World War Z. Was it that was kind of like Left 4
Yeah.
Dead? But even then, actually, it was almost exactly like Left 4 Dead. They pasted or they copied and pasted that shit so bad.
Just
Like
put it third person. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just like, but so yeah,
Just the
but
tip.
huh?
Just the tip.
Just
Oh shit! Just
Hey,
the
let's
tip.
just catch up with the chat real quickly here before we scroll on by.
Yeah.
Crazy Greek dude is in the house. What's happening, Crazy? We got Cloud up in here right now. What's happening, Crowd? A Cloud Heated Heavy 505 is hanging out with us. Thank you so much. Meta Alpha's here. Darko's Dreams is in the chat. Invader is in the house. What's going on, Invader? Glad you could make it here, guys. We got an awesome chat going on here right now. Greatly appreciate you being here. Like I said, you guys are fantastic. Hopefully, I got to everybody. Just a tip gets you in trouble, apparently, according to Cyber Gunter. Let's
probably how I got pregnant.
Oh, they didn't pull out. What?
I don't remember.
They didn't pull out soon enough.
There's probably alcohol or drugs involved in that situation. So, but Noof, back to your question.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yes.
I don't care about any of those games actually. Because I went through it and I really thought it. Ori, I got through it partially, and I don't know what made me stop. I don't know if it was maybe Gears. Whenever Gears comes around, everything stops. So I'm thinking it might have been that. Otherwise, no, the other games I really don't have any interest in. So it's not like I'm not excited about anything there. In that.
By the way, Primal, if you didn't recognize Cray, we have played Gears of War together. He goes by Hollywood on the Xbox.
Yes, his voice sounded so familiar, and I'm going through my whole category of people that I've ever played with, and I'm trying to match your voice. I knew I recognized your voice. Okay,
I'm country as hell, man. So I forgive me. I'm sorry. It's in my soul. But we need to get back on some Gears again, man. I had fun.
Yes,
Definitely had a blast that night.
I will only play it if we're doing like some type of group thing or private thing. I'm done playing regular.
And see, like Crispy was saying, man, like I love to play Horde, but not knocking Gears, at all. That's one of my franchises. But ever since Gears 4, when they put in the what was the little things you do, little tasks, you get people would drop out, like get 20 wins and then back out. It took away from people sticking it out, doing 1 through 50, and they need to bring back Classic Horde without none of the bonuses or whatever little tasks you're trying to do.
I'm sorry, if they're gonna do Classic Horde, we gotta go back to like Gears 2 Classic Horde.
Yeah, stacking the shields up.
People getting into fights because they didn't pick up their shield in time. Make sure that you have the smoke and ink grade plant properly done and all that shit. Go back to that and see how people.
Man, I spent so much time in Gears 2, it didn't make sense.
My good brother Chase brings up we had a fantastic community at Modern Warfare the other night. Absolutely, we did. We had a hell of a turnout. People kept coming in. I know Cyber was there. Myself, we had a great time the other night. Were you in that one, Crispy, the other night or no? I don't think you were. No, you didn't make that one. But yeah, we had a great time. A lot of.
Uh-oh.
Okay, was that him or was that me? Because my internet's all fucky.
Well, I'm in your club too. Like I told him, man, I'm out here in the woods. So man,
awesome. Okay,
that's new.
Look, my gerbils ain't running fast enough on my hamster wheel. The Call of Duty. Next time y'all do it, I get on, but I suck at Call of Duty. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
A lot of soup. Okay, sounds like. Oh, did I drop out? I'm looking at.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah, you dropped out for a minute.
Okay. Yeah, my screen. Okay, so am I back now? Everybody can hear me? Guys in the chat, you guys can hear me just fine? Yeah. All right, I'm back. Okay, how about then, Chiefs indeed? Obi-Wan, what's happening, man? Glad you could be here. We got Dreadpool is in the chat. I must have had a little internet boo-boo there for a second. Thought I was on Primal's internet connection.
So bad. Get it.
But anyway, I'm back. I just want to say, so next week, love it or hate it, I'm hoping to go back to Tuesday nights because unfortunately, a lot of times, especially when we get guests on the show, the podcasts do tend to run a little bit over an hour. It's too hard for me to get this done, get my shit ready, and go out to hockey because I play hockey on Monday nights. It's going to be different in the summer, but I think Tuesday nights was a better fit anyway. That sort of thing. So we'll try to go back to Tuesday as long as it's cool with Primal. Same time, just back on Tuesday because I think Tuesdays was our original anyway because it used to be after RDX. So I think we'll jump back there starting next week. So keep that in mind, everyone. Also tonight, before the show ends, we're going to give away a copy of Terminator Dark Fate, a digital copy. But you have to have an iTunes account because this is an iTunes only code, which is one of the reasons I'm not using it because I do not have an iPhone or iTunes. I'm on a Google account. With my Android. So if anybody wants to win that, I'm going to tell you how a little bit later on. I'm going to be dropping a line from an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie using my Arnold voice, of course, but it's not going to be one of his more popular movies. Hopefully you guys know your Arnold because I'm going to be dropping a major line from one of his films, and the first person to guess which film it is from correctly will win that code. But you must obviously have an iTunes account, and you must be following me on Twitter so I can send you the message. So that's going to happen here before the evening is over. Let's get into our next topic. This one should be fun. Fast and Furious. They're just weeks away from freaking number 9. I can't believe it. For a while there, Vin Diesel was done with the series and they came back. They've obviously enjoyed magnitude of success since they returned. Otherwise, I don't think we'd be on number 9. So my question and we'll start off obviously with my co-host, and my question to Chad as well. Are you a fan of the Fast and Furious franchise? And if so, do you think it's time to pull the plug on this, or do you want to see the series continue, that sort of thing? Because I got my thoughts on it, and we'll get there, but I want to hear yours. And we'll start out with my co-host, Primal. Primal, what do you think of Fast and Furious? Do you think it's overdone, or are you okay with the series constantly coming out?
I enjoyed the first few, and then it just kind of took a different turn, and it's almost like I'm over it. I'm not a fan of I'm happy for the whole fan base, everything. That's great. You guys have movies that go on forever. But it's just like after the first few, I'm kind of done. I'm done.
This HR bomber in the chat. I do like Fast and Furious, but my wife doesn't. She likes it slow and precise. I knew someone would get on there. We got Psycho UK NAS 666 in the house. What's going on, man? Thanks for that. Sorry, Prom, will continue on.
No, I really don't have much to say. It's just because, I don't know. It goes. I don't know. I feel like next thing you know, they're going to be adding like Jet Li, and then it's just going to be like the Untouchables, and it's like I don't know.
Who's your favorite character from the franchise? I mean, have you seen all of the movies, or have you only seen so many?
I think I've only seen so many, but they all turn into the same for me. like it's just one long movie.
Right. When it gets to the point where all the movies, you can't remember what was different from 5 to 6 or 7 because after a while you just kind of almost feel the same, right?
Right. Exactly. And I guess you could say that I liked the Paul Walker series. How about that?
Right.
We'll go with that, and then
100% agree.
And he died in 7, right? That was the last one. Number 7, if I'm correct, because 8 was done without him. They did
because that was the one where they used his brother, right, to fill in.
That's right.
It was 7, yeah.
And then it just got kind of weird. It's like they were doing too much. Like there's just too much. I don't need all this extra. I just want to watch cars. And then it's just I don't know. I'm not into it. But that's with anything that has way too many games. Or sorry, not games. Way too much.
It's been milk.
Go,
well, we know what Primal. She likes to savor the flavor, so she does like it slower and precise. I'm sure.
I just wanted it all. Period.
Give it to her, baby.
Yeah. She takes slow poking Furious right now.
Oh shit.
Crispy Bomb, brother. What about you, man? Are you a fan of this franchise? Do you think it's overstepped its welcome, or could you handle another few more movies?
I think it's a little overextended at this point. I'm one of them people that can always go back to the original Fast and the Furious and look at that movie and say it was ahead of its time at that time. You know what I mean? Vin Diesel and Paul Walker's, chemistry and in that singular movie was
Mhm.
absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? They were so like they were fighting each other at that time, like everything else. And then you go to Too Fast, Too Furious, and Paul Walker was by himself, and it still was a great movie because Paul Walker was such a good actor. And people don't realize this dude really drove these cars. Like he was a nutcase. You know what I mean? He's like Tom Cruise for driving cars. You know what I mean? Like this guy was just insane. Like he didn't care. And you know what? The chemistry in Too Fast, Too Furious with Tyrese. Tyrese actually drove those cars too. A lot of people don't realize that. Like that movie was great, but you know, you kind of had this hiatus with the Tokyo drifts and the this and that, you know, and then Vin Diesel didn't want to do it. He was doing Triple X and all this other stuff. And it's like that chemistry that Vin Diesel and Paul Walker had to come back. And you know, Fast and Furious 4 and up until 7, they were good movies. They weren't great. I mean, you know, you need a good story, everything else, but they were good movies that involved a lot of crazy racing. You know what I mean? And that's something we look for. And nowadays it's like, you know, you bring Statham into it and you bring The Rock into it, and it's like now it's getting old. Now it's like you don't have that chemistry anymore. You don't have that you know mentality of like these true racing people, and that's why Paul Walker passed away the way he did.
And the latest one has John Cena.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like we don't need all that. We don't need all of it.
Who's next? Hulk Hogan?
The next one. Yeah, no, it's gonna be just like the fucking Untouchables, and you have
it's all about the Nitro, brother.
There. Yeah, just throw them all in there. Might as well.
Tropic Thunder, they're bringing it back.
Right.
Hey, we got Jago Kukin is in the house. What's going on, Jago? He's his Han is his favorite character. You'll be happy to know if you haven't seen the trailer where the Han is back in the latest. So that's awesome.
I got one question about that. How did it? Because didn't he die in Tokyo Drift? Like he got blowed up or some shit in a car accident.
Not in Tokyo Drift. I think it was in number 8, wasn't it? Number 8 where he died, or we thought he died.
They confirmed that he died in number 8. He actually died. He technically died in Tokyo Drift in that accident, the big accident. Yeah. And that's where you never saw his body. You never saw them take him away. Never the funeral. There was no body in the casket. Like it was, it was one of those like ploys, as I like to say. So I mean, for them to bring him back is a little weird. I mean, maybe they're fishing, you know, because
unless it might be like a prequel scene and reflecting back on them or something. I don't know.
Psycho in the chat says, "Who's next, Ric Flair?" That would be actually funny because I could see Rick in the side seat, and every time we do like a big spin around, he'd be like, "Woo!"
All right, man. Ain't no telling right now, man. It's man. Fast and Furious has definitely been milked. After this one, you need to lay it down, man. Lay it down.
Yeah, it was a great run. Fast and Furious fucking cow tits edition, right? Because it's been milked so much.
Well, ain't Vin Diesel? He doing was it Bloodshot, Deadshot? What is it? His new movie he's doing.
Actually, Bloodshot.
Yeah, Bloodshot. Yeah.
You know, it's like Girls Gone Fast and Furious. There you go.
Right. Bloodshot. It's not a movie about a period.
Oh shit!
5 days to die.
You gotta be tripping. Well, man,
yeah, we went there. Just saying.
Look, Fast and the Furious got more sequels than Friday the 13th. So man, that's crazy. Because Friday the 13th got like what 13 altogether. If you put a number on them,
right?
Yeah,
it's right there. God knows.
So, which was your favorite of the series? Have you seen them all, Cray?
I think I missed a few here and there. Out of respect for Paul Walker, I'm gonna say the one that he died in because that was kind of emotional and stuff.
Right.
Because I was a big fan of his. I like his movie Brick City. He did too with the I think the RZA from Wu-Tang Clan was in that one.
Brick City was awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Movie.
So I love Paul Walker, man. It was sad. So I'm gonna say that one. But outside of that one, the first one, classic. Except for back then when I was younger, I used to have a Mustang GT and shit, and I was still in the Marine Corps then, just fresh out of high school. And
Yeah.
cats, everybody had a damn Honda Civic, thought they were fast. So Nissan Eclipse, the Spider jump.
Yeah.
And it had them coffee pot exhausts there, man. It was wild for a while. But outside of that, man, those two and the rest of them, you know, something to watch with the family, go out, movie night, whatever, call it a day. Nothing really to write home about.
Jago with the unpopular opinion in the chat. Tokyo Drift is the best Fast and the Furious. Well, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. It's an unpopular opinion, I'm sure. Let me just state it this way. The funny thing is, I still enjoy the series. I do think at some point it's overstated its welcome. Like, honestly, like, I'm okay with them coming out, but I don't really get excited for them anymore. When I found out that Vin Diesel was returning to that franchise a few years back, I did get generally excited. I was like, yes, it's about time. We hadn't seen Vin Diesel in this series in a while, that sort of thing. Of course, Paul Walker was still there. And I think for the first couple, like Fast and Furious, 3, 4, and 5, for the most part, still held in essence what the franchise really was about. Like the first few were definitely about car culture, right? In the late 90s, it was a car culture about modding. We even saw that translate to video games, because after Fast and Furious got popular, remember how Need for Speed had a series of underground games that felt like a spiritual successor in a video game form to Fast and Furious, technically speaking, right? And Vin Diesel was kind of the main character. He was carrying the load for the most part. Then of course, they bring in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and he sort of steals the show to a certain extent, which is probably why they ended up getting the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff. But that the thing is, like, now, there's cars in the movies, but the movies, to me, they're so over the top now. They're really crazy. Like the original movie was very believable and it had a heart to it, where now they just become like they're popcorn flicks now, like totally, like they're just, we got to outbeat the last one. So like somebody said in the chat earlier, like Psycho is, and what's the next one going to be, like boats or airplanes, or they're going to have spaceships? What's it going to, Fast and Furious 10 goes to space, they're going to be racing NASA ships or something. Like it's kind of getting crazy at this point. They're still fun movies, I still like to go see them. I know my wife likes them, but they're just so wacky now. Like the stuff that happens, you're like, yeah, that's believable in my ass, like I said, I like them, but I think like after 9, just like put this series to bed. Vin needs to get back to doing something else. I want to see him do more Riddick movies. I thought those are highly underrated. That sort of stuff, but I'm going to leave it there. I mean, my favorite in the franchise, obviously the original movie Fast and Furious was so good, and I did like. I think it was number 4. I think it's the one where they thought Letty died or whatever it was. I thought that was pretty good. There was a lot of them. The other ones are like better from an action standpoint, but as I said, they kind of get really, really wacky and really out there. So, like I said, they're fun to watch. I enjoy them and I buy them when they come out. But at the same time, if they killed off the franchise, I wouldn't be sitting here crying tears over it tomorrow. Simply. Anybody else more thoughts on this before we get to the next topic?
I just want to know how they got them cars to hold that traction on that ice. Remember with the submarine?
Right.
How was them motherfuckers like sticking to the ice? Like, I'm like,
those Canadian tires, bro.
Okay, I gotta get me a set of them for my damn truck there, my damn rim. So that's
you
crazy.
Come to Canada and you go to Canadian Tire by Canadian Tires. That's how it is. That's all that ice up here. We're used to it. I don't know. Crazy. Yes. Yeah. Well, let's see. Look at the old movies too. It was a lot more like tuner cars and stuff, where you had the Civics and you had all that stuff, and now it's. You see a certain type of car. Usually you got the classic muscle car or the really high end stuff, the Bugattis and the McLarens.
The car
and all
can't
that
nobody
sort of
afford.
Absolutely. Cars nobody can freaking afford unless you're a celeb. John Cena's in this one, though, which actually does have me a little bit excited. I do like John Cena. It's pretty cool. But let's hope him and Vin Diesel don't have a feud like him and The Rock sort of had a bit of
If I see John Cena do a FU, I'm walking out the theater. Just gonna let you know, I'm walking out the theater.
Well, didn't The Rock do a couple rock bottoms in one of those, too?
Hey, the Rock is the greatest.
Oh, he's
Leave
awesome.
the people's champ alone.
Fast and Furious is an amazing franchise. If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
I'm gonna catch up with Raw tomorrow when I get home from work. Man, I love that shit. I'm a big kid, bro.
Let's catch up with our next topic here, guys. Let's get over here, and this one is going to be about Games of Gold versus PlayStation Plus for the month. Games of Gold, if you guys haven't known or don't know, this month we get Tourist Trophy Isle of Man, which is a racing game in the famous Isle of Man setting. Fable Heroes, which is a 360 title. Call of Cthulhu, which most people never heard of, but some are excited for, and Star Wars Battlefront. Then over on the PlayStation Plus side, we get BioShock Collection. So if you've never picked them up, but now is a good time to do so. You get all of the fantastic BioShock games, The Sims 4, and a bonus to PlayStation Plus owners, you will get Firewall 0 Hours. So it's pretty solid if you ask me on both fronts. I'll start with Primal. Any of these games have you played? Anything you're excited for? And overall, what do you think of Games of Gold, PlayStation Plus, and who do you think has the better games?
I'll say right now the PlayStation Plus has the better games, and I've been kind of complaining about this a little bit about with Games of Gold ever since with Game Pass out. Game Pass has kind of murdered Games of Gold. There really hasn't been anything too like major fantastic or even games that we haven't played before really in Games of Gold anymore. I've already played a good majority of these ones. Fable Heroes, Call of Cthulhu, or Cthulhu.
Is that any good?
So yeah, it was
like an action horror game or something.
Yeah, no, it's like a nice like survival horror. I didn't get too far into it because I'm a wuss. And then Star Wars Battlefront. I don't know, you can get it for like $5 too if you really wanted it, because that's just how much that they've been like charging it for. No, even Star Wars Battlefront 2 a long time ago before they redid everything, that was like $5 too. Mm-hmm. And I think, this time around, what PlayStation Plus, the BioShock collection, I think is something that everybody should own. I missed out on it when it originally came out because, once again, I'm a giant wuss, and I couldn't even leave the elevator in the first BioShock when you initially got there. I would not leave it because of the damn shadow of I went as far back into the corner as I possibly could, and I said, that's enough. It was a good thing I worked at GameStop at the time because I could just bring the game back. Mm-hmm. But no, PlayStation has it this time. The Sims 4,
Advantage PlayStation as picked by Primal Eve. Let's get over to Cray, man. What do you think about those lineups? Have you played any of these games? And who do you think has the better one in February? I think they're both pretty solid, but what's your take?
Well, because I'm a corporate slave, I'm going to go with Xbox. Nah, I got to go with PlayStation, man. Just because of the simple fact of BioShock, man. Right. I love the first one, the original one. I got out the elevator. I beat it. Would you kindly? The end boss was ridiculous at the time. And then I got into Infinite.
The original BioShock?
Yeah, the original one, the first one. And then I didn't play the second one because I wasn't too keen about playing as a big daddy, but a lot of people told me I missed out. So actually, I might re-up my PSN just to get that, to play the second one. And then is Infinite included in that one too, right?
Yes,
Infinite
is.
Should be in it. So yeah, I never finished Infinite, so it's a win-win. You get to play. It's gonna be remastered, or is it just ported over?
No, they're remastered, so they look a little bit cleaner. They've been tidied up a little bit.
Yeah, I probably, matter of fact, this weekend I might as well go on and re-up, because actually I need to do it before then, because they got the Uncharted collection up there now, and I never finished 3, so that I might just do that shit tomorrow.
Damn,
but I gotta go with PlayStation. Yeah, backlog is definitely deep, man. But yeah, I'm gonna go with PlayStation. I say none of those games on Xbox. I'm not big into racing. As good as Forza is, the only reason why I got Forza Horizon 4 right now is because of Game Pass. Other than that, I don't play races, man. I can't think of the last one I bought. It's probably what Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with PlayStation on this one. They gets my money this time. They get it.
I got to ask you a quick question off topic. With your profile pic, do you actually have a hat on your head, or is that photoshopped?
No, that's I was in Japan for a while, so that's the it's not the original hat I had when I was over there, but my wife found one and had it sent back. But yeah, it's my rating hat.
Okay, cool. I don't even know what they're called. I know what they look like, but yeah, I had to ask because kind of way you look at it in the picture, I almost to say it was photoshopped in, but yeah,
I was probably drunk when I took that picture. I ain't gonna lie
to you. Trying to cover up the bloodshot eyes. Yeah, calves down.
Yeah. I'm getting my sexy on.
Titan Drago is in the house. He says he's going to critique us, guys, while he plays Smite. What the hell is Smite, Titan? What the hell?
Hey, is that a
Um,
mumble
I don't know,
game,
it's
mobile
right-
game?
Yeah, it was like a big. It was
yeah, I
a
don't.
big deal. A while.
Well, let's get over to the other big deal in the house. Crispy Bomb, baby. What do you think of Games at Gold versus PlayStation Plus? Which one you siding with here?
PlayStation Plus has a better lineup. And let's be serious for a second. It's because, Xbox is going to continue to put everything they got into Game Pass.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. Let's not lie about this for a second. PlayStation doesn't know what they're doing. We clearly see that. Okay.
Mhm.
Us subjective gamers that say, okay, we have played PlayStation for years, we played Xbox for years. For once, Xbox is like, you know what? We don't care about games of gold. We don't. You know what I mean? It's been like, it's not just this month, it's been months upon months. You know what I mean? They really don't care. And then they'll drop great games into Game Pass, and people are like, oh, it's all good. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yep.
But that's the people that are truthful, like, they use Game Pass, everything else. The people that don't use Game Pass are like, what the hell? You know what I mean? So you're going to have that on both ends. Like, we can't sit here and be like, oh, the double-sided dildo isn't going to work. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, you have to think about it that way. Like, it works. But guess what? Eventually, you're going to get, less vibration.
Mhm.
Right?
Something's got to give,
I
man.
probably
Honestly.
make money selling that shit used.
Oh shit! It's gonna be like they gave a girl, was it bathwater that was
Oh,
going around
Lord.
for a while?
Primal told me off the record, she said she's going to bottle tit sweat and sell it.
Oh my gosh, I so should.
Put me down for
Somebody
two.
will buy it. That's the
Oh
problem.
yeah,
Put-
no.
Put me down for two. One for each tit.
Right tit and left tit, right?
Oh.
And then they come with a different price.
Oh, shit.
God. Yeah, you
I'm
just
glad my wife. I'm glad my wife in the bed
You
right
know,
now. Lord Jesus.
Oh, I'd be playing Gears and I'd be like hooked up like fucking like a milking machine, and I'll just record that shit.
Yeah. Whenever she's on the gear, she's just sitting there with no shirt on at all, with
Yep.
a couple of like towels squeezed
All
underneath.
you got to
and
have
bring 'em
her
up.
is do a session of Gears, and you'll
Right,
be fine.
exactly. That's exactly what it is. I don't get sweaty hands. I get sweaty tits when I play that.
Well, that's good. We're gonna send you a Nintendo Switch, and you can play that Ring Fit game.
Oh shit, man.
Oh.
Damn. Y'all, wow.
Well, let me just say, like, for my take on it, I'll put it this way. BioShock I didn't own. The Sims 4 I don't own. Firewall Zero Hour I do. So 2 out of those 3 I never owned and will definitely be getting, because those are awesome games. And they're more. The thing is with PlayStation Plus is the games themselves are more recognizable. Like, I think unless you've been living out in space, everybody knows what Sims is, and BioShock comes with quite a pedigree. So like, it's a good title whether you played them to death and owned them all before. If you haven't got on this series or you're looking to get a digital version of it, I think that's a pretty good deal. As far as Games of Gold, I think it's actually pretty good this one. I was actually a little bit surprised, because I know I've been looking at that TT Isle of Man game for a while. They do like racers and I like bike games. This one's actually pretty damn good. It's a little bit of a bare bones game, but I don't think for the most part most people are not going to care, because they're probably not going to play it to death unless you're really hardcore into it, like say somebody like True Racer who plays racing games non-stop. Fable Heroes, I could give a crap. It's not really Fable to me, so that one I could care less. Call of Cthulhu does look interesting. I definitely want to try that one out. And Star Wars Battlefront, like, as cool as it is to get one of those retro games from the Xbox era, like, am I even going to play that game? I'm going to find time to play an old Xbox game. I mean, it was only a while back I downloaded Battlefront 2 from Games of Gold. Now they're adding the originals. Like, are you going to go back? So that's my case. I think they're both pretty solid. I'll give the edge to PlayStation. And like you said, and Crispy points it out too, like, who in their right mind anyway is going to put the games you really want into Games with Gold when you're going to put them over Game Pass to try to sell your subscription? I said this years ago, before when Game Pass come out, I said you're going to see a drastic dip in the quality of the games Xbox gives you, and it's for a reason. They're not stupid. Like, why put a game out there like a $70 or $80 game that they know you want to get you? Like, say if you're riding the fence and you don't know if you want to get Game Pass or not, right? then why would you put those games out there? Because then people will say, what's the point in getting Game Pass if the good games are going to be on Games with Gold? Like, I'll hold out. They want to make their money. They know where it's at. It's in with Game Pass and that sort of stuff. And we're probably not going to have enough time to really get into the whole Game Pass scenario tonight, because I do have a great topic I want to come back with next week, but we're starting to run low on time. So I'm giving it to PlayStation Plus. I think what, all four of us give it the PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. Got to.
You said man. PlayStation Plus as well, right, Crispy?
Yes, I did.
There you go. So 4 out of 4 guys, PlayStation Plus wins the battle of the free games this month. So if you haven't got PlayStation Plus, maybe now is the time to jump on and get it. That sort of stuff. Let's get into Primal's question tonight before we get out of here, guys. So Primal, I don't know if you got your question all lined up, but you can go ahead and fire it away. Do you have it ready?
I think she fell off. It went back to us 3.
Oh no, maybe she's having. Oh, we lost Primal, guys. All right, so I'm going to do Primal's question really quick, and then we're going to give away that code for Terminator Dark Fate. So Primal's
I got one question. Question. Do I qualify for the code? Because I don't have that Terminator.
Yes. Even because I haven't done this outside. Okay, I haven't done this anywhere privately, so nobody knows what code I'm going to use. They still have to be in the chat to do it, though. So,
shit.
So if you better be in the chat over there right now. If you're not, you're going to be slow. But anyway, Primal's question was, guys, before she got bounced from this, is she lost herself to vibrations. And I hope I gave everybody a shout out here tonight who's in the chat. HR Bomber, H Junkie, Psycho UK. Who did I miss? Did I miss anybody in the chat tonight? Because I hope I didn't. I hate it when I miss people because I do appreciate you coming out. But Primal's chat was, and this kind of goes around the Super Bowl, I guess. I don't know. But her question was, what artist do you want to see live? If you've never seen them living or deceased. So even, you can pick a deceased artist or somebody that may be still alive. And I think she's talking about probably music wise, because we don't do a lot of music topics. So I'll start it with you, Cray. Any particular artist you'd like to see live that you've never seen, or they could be also deceased that you wish you could have seen?
Man, I got to go with Michael Jackson, bro.
Michael Jackson,
man.
Fantastic.
Gotta go with Michael Jackson, man.
All right, the legend. Nice. You're just a big fan of Michael Jackson, and you never got to see him before.
Never got to see him because, let's face it, I grew up poor. So when he was touring, especially, Billie Jean, Beat It, and all that stuff, man, my mom couldn't afford that stuff. So
gotcha.
Then when I got grown, making my own money, he was on his way out. And then when he signed that Vegas contract, to do his shows like that, I was like, yeah, I'm going to see Mike. And then he passed away. So I had to go with Mike, man. I love his music. When I'm cleaning up, I just put on some Mike and let it roll. Even my kids love Mike.
Great pick. Great pick. We got some people in the chat. Let's get to them. Dreadpool says The Doors. Psycho says Johnny Cash. Miko Das. Hello, Miko. He says Tupac. H Junkie also says Tupac. HR Bomber picked Michael Jackson from the 90s. Alan Savage is Jimi Hendrix or Janis Joplin. Great Skull Zero Mozart. And I never thought anyone would pick that one. Leonard Skinner for Jago. Timothy Dixon is Bob Marley. Johnny Cash or Hank Williams from Psycho again. This Freelance is Ozzy. HR Bomber, Led Zeppelin. Linkin Park from Crazy Greek Dude. Alan Savage, Bon Scott with AC/DC. Heated Heavy, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Slayer from J Slayer J. Great picks, guys. Some really heavy bands, and a lot of them even not around anymore. How about you, Crispy? Who would you like to see living or deceased if you had a chance?
It would be deceased. It'd be Freddie Mercury.
Freddie with Queen?
Yes, the original Queen. Yeah.
Nice. That's.
I got one question. Was that the group that did the soundtrack for the Highlander series, the theme?
No.
Was it them?
No, I don't
Who
think
did
so.
that? So, cause my wife loved them, man.
But Bohemian Rhapsody. Everybody knows Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, if you don't know what Bohemian Rhapsody is, then you need to go listen to it and just thank me later, because it's one of the greatest songs I've ever heard in my life. And that was Freddie Mercury at his finest. And he basically wrote that song. The man was way far ahead of his time. He basically turned opera, rock, and just every genre into one song or two songs, or it ended up being 10 songs. I mean, fat bottom girls. I mean, you've heard all of these insanely
Queen
great
songs.
songs. You know what I mean? You might not realize it, but you have heard Queen. And to see him live one last time would be absolutely amazing to me.
Yeah, he was
Cool.
definitely after what for me. Obviously, I got an inside look with Queen with that the movie that came out there. Bohemian was it Bohemian Rhapsody? What's it
Yeah,
called?
Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that now.
It's a fantastic film. But like I don't know, because it was just, like Queen was sort of before my era, and I knew a lot of their songs. But that movie kind of made me a fan because I got to see them from a different side, and I didn't realize how many songs that they had that I actually really liked, which is weird. So yeah, that would be pretty cool. I got to see my number one band of all time, which was Oasis, and this was in 2009. So I'm pretty happy about that. Because right after that they broke up. They're no longer together, and I don't think they ever will get back together because those two guys are nut cases and they hate each other. But the one band I guess that's gone, long gone, but not forgotten, that I wish I could have seen at some point in time in my life would have been Nirvana. Would have loved to see the legend Kurt Cobain live and in person. So that's
I
my
was
band.
actually going to say that, Noof. That's
yeah.
weird. I was going to say that as my second, dude. Like that is Nirvana is like just like our teenage like thought process.
Yeah, baby.
Time.
That's my high school right there. I fell in love with music largely because of Nirvana. That's the reason I picked up a guitar and started to play, was because of Smells Like Teen Spirit and the whole grunge movement at the time. I love that shit.
Man, I would say a band of on the rock side, I listen to everything. But I really love Rage Against the Machine. I would love to see them live.
Yes, I love Rage Against. Yeah.
Yeah, that's man. When I'm playing Gears or something, I have some Rage going. You know, I put on a play, let it roll, but Rage comes on a lot on my playlist, so I would like to see them too. So Mike and Rage, man, that would be my bucket list.
Good. I love Rage Against the Machine songs, man. They're awesome. They're just so different, like just deadly. And yeah, Jingle, man, I'm with you, man.
They're politically correct too and woke at the same time, but you still rocking out. I like them.
Yeah, when Kurt Cobain passed away, man, when I heard of that, I was devastated. Like, and it's the first time in a long time, or probably in my life, I've ever felt that set back by an artist passing away. And I guess it's because, like all of us, you're gonna feel more if you felt more of a connection to the music. And at that time, where I was in my life, their music really resonated with me. So it was really tough. Just like for some people, when Elvis passed or Michael Jackson, that music is part of your life. It's what you identify with, that sort of thing. And so some guys, Pantera, Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul, those guys had a big effect on people when those guys passed away and stuff. So crazy stuff right there. We got to get out of here, guys. We're really running late on time here. Again, sorry that Primal bounced out. I'm guessing it was tech issues again. We're going to be moving again this show back next week, guys, to Tuesday nights, 10 o'clock. I want to thank my guests, but I'll get to them. But here's the contest thing right here now. I'm going to fire up. I'm going to ask Arnold to come in the room. He's going to do an impression for you. First person to guess the movie it is. I'm not giving you no hints. I want to see how many of you really know you're freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger. And don't worry, he's not going to be one of the quotes you hear me say all the time. This one you've never heard me say on a podcast. So here it is, guys. So listen up. It's not good to drink and bake. Oh, sorry. It was you shouldn't drink and bake. You guys got that? One more time. You shouldn't drink and bake. Boom! We got a winner already. That was fast. Somebody knows they're freaking Arnold in here. Magnetic Storm 25. It is Raw Deal 1986. You shouldn't drink and bake. So there you go. We got our winner already. Magnetic Storm 25 is going to get the code to Terminator Dark Fate. So Magnetic Storm, I hope you're following me on Twitter, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to send you this code. And you must have an iTunes account because it's an iTunes code. So congratulations to Magnetic Storm. Thank you guys all for playing. That was fantastic. There you have it. And we're going to wrap up the show. Let's get to my, let's start with Mr. Crispy, who was nice enough to jump in here. Even though he's dead tired, he still brought the shit to the show. That's how he does it, because he is the Crispy Bomb. And when you got Noof Nukem explosiveness and Crispy in here, shit's always going to fly. So Crispy, tell people where they can find you, brother. And thanks again for coming in and bailing my ass out tonight.
Noof, dude, always a pleasure. It's always amazing to be on this podcast. I mean, even in Primal being in here for a second, always you two chemistry is bar none one of the best I've ever seen. But at Crispy Bomb on Twitter, Christmas Bomb 28 on Xbox Live. You can hit me up. Like I want more friends. More friends, the better. Like I especially if it's on Game Pass, I will play it. You know what I mean? And then next podcast Saturday night, 7 p.m. Retro Renegades Tuesday night, 7 p.m. And yeah, just come check us out. You know, we do our thing. We talk games and we enjoy doing it.
Amen to that, guys. Go give Crispy a follow. He is making the rounds, baby. His claim to fame is rising. His stars on the move. And don't forget the next guy here. He is Cray Simmons. I know he's not so well known in the podcast games, but he is a fun mofo to play games with. He is an awesome dude, and I'm happy to have him here on Gaming After Dark. So give this man a follow. He might have to print out his Twitter name for you because I don't think anyone would get it because it's not Cray, it's not Hollywood. It's like JMS with a bunch of numbers, I think. But Cray, let everybody know where they can find you, brother, and how they can catch up with you.
All right, what's up, man? Y'all can check me out on Twitter's JMS Jamie. You can find me on YouTube, Cray Simmons Gaming TV, Xbox Live Hollywood 27910, and on the PSN, the Mighty PlayStation, you can find me at Cray Dollar. And like I say, man, I just play games, man. That's all I do, man. We all got our favorites, but hey, we all enjoy gaming. This great, fun hobby. So just hit me up. I always accept anything, positively only. You know, no negativity coming in. Just play games, have fun, man. That's me.
That is him to a T, man. You got to get him on gears because nothing else is going to make you laugh while you're taking people down. So it is good stuff. And again, Primal, guys, you know where to find Primal Eve. We'll be back here next Tuesday night at 10 o'clock, moving over back to Tuesdays. Monday's a little bit hectic for me because we always have to cut the show a little bit short. Want to thank again my esteemed guests. Thank you for being here. Want to thank everybody in the chat. Like I said, whether there's one person here, 25, 100, I appreciate each and every one of you, whether you take 5 minutes or you take the whole podcast to be here with us. You guys make this tick. We love you all, and we'll see you again next week. I'm out of here, guys. Have yourself a great night. A Magnetic Storm, send me a quick message on Twitter, and I'll hit you up with that code, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.